Influencers is brought to you by
Joint Care, supplements to keep you active. Sawyer Studios, located in the Flowers Plaza, Carmichael Road, West. Global Transformation Media, transforming you from the inside out. The Affirmation Nation. And Guardian Talk Radio. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. Welcome to Influencers on Guardian Talk Radio, 96.9 FM, and I am your host, Lady Shema. This show is a platform to highlight the transformational impact of global and national influencers who use the power of their influence to promote positive change. We also bring focused attention to the personal stories of influencers with the hope that their tenacity in the face of hard-hitting challenges and their unrelenting resilience will inspire the comeback spirit in every local and international listener. And today we delve into the mind of a millennial entrepreneur who started out in the corporate world as the youngest banker ever in Bahamian history. His first business took a nosedive due to the ravages of COVID on the Bahamian economy. Nevertheless, like the phoenix, he rose from the ashes and made an extraordinary comeback. He's the owner of 2 successful businesses at the age of just 24. Today, hear in from millennial business influencer, Jermaine Allen. All this and more here on Influencers on Guardian Talk Radio, 96.9 FM.
Hey, Dad, want a race?
Well, let's see who's trying to keep up with who today.
Oh, because you need a head start?
I'm already way ahead of you, son.
Keep up with what matters. Joint Care supplements your active lifestyle by supporting your bones, cartilage, muscles with essential nutrients. Joint Care helps to reduce inflammation with omega-3 and replenishes glucosamine, a natural compound vital to healthy cartilage and joints. Choose the Joint Care formula that is right for you. Supplex, Complete, and Max are available at your local pharmacy. Joint Care, a part of the 7 C's family of vitamins and supplements.
Need your picture taken? Well, if you want it to look its best, then go to the best. It's Sawyer Studios, capturing your special events, portraits, passport, job, and visa photos. Plus, there's more. Also offering professional printing services of business cards, letterheads, signs, and banners. Opened Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a legacy. 28 years and growing. Located in the Flowers Plaza, Carmichael Road. Call 361-7786. ACG Wholesale is the answer for retail grocery store owners and everyday shoppers who want to save big. ACG carries a variety of drinks, snacks, meat products, essential dry goods like rice and yellow grits, plus lots of wholesome produce. And ACG Wholesale is a proud distributor of Borden's Milk. Opened Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located next to Phoenix Supermarkets on East Street South. Call 392-1155. That's ACG Wholesale with quality service and great prices. Welcome back to Influencers. I'm your host, Lady Shema, and with me today is a millennial influencer by the name of Jermaine Allen. He is the owner of Allen's Refinishing Touch, as well as Allen's Pest Control, and he is also now a new personal business consultant. And we are having a conversation on the topic, Millennials Influencing Innovative Business. Welcome to the show, Mr. Jermaine Allen.
Hi, thank you so much. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Yes, and thank you so very much for agreeing to be on the show. You know, I always like to take a little bit of a twist with the show whenever I see the opportunity. And I love to speak with millennials because they're very, very fresh in their ideas. They're very, very innovative. They're very, very much on the cutting edge. And that's exactly what I saw with you, with your social media marketing and the way that you were really putting yourself out there was just very, very, very inspiring, especially for a very young Bahamian male experiencing business success as an entrepreneur. And so we're going to be talking a little bit more about your whole story, how you got into it, you know, who and what inspired you. But right before we get really into the nuts and bolts of your business acumen and story, let's start at the beginning a little bit. When you were younger, you are very young now, but when you were younger, who really influenced you and inspired you to believe that you can actually become whatever and whoever it is you choose to be? Because you have a lot of faith, you've got a lot of boldness. Who inspired that in you at a young age?
At a young age, first of all, I have to give God thanks, first of all, because He was the one who gave me all of the ideas to carry out. But my earthly person who inspired me was my mom. Because, when I was young, I was kind of forced to figure out other ways to find means of income because she was the only one who was taking care of our entire family, you see. So I had to make things happen at an early age. So technically, at a young age, I was forced to be a self-made person.
At a very young age, you were forced to be a self-made person. And tell us a little bit about some of the experiences when you were even younger than you are right now, as far as really building that business acumen, as far as learning how to make things happen when nothing was happening. Tell us a bit about those types of stories.
Okay, so the first story that comes to my mind, right, was that one time my mom, she was driving inside a car, and I was about 10 years old, or about 8 to 10 years old, and we were driving on Wolf Road, and she was coming close to the red light, and I realized the car cut off, and being me, I saw what was going on, but she had like a puzzle look, but the car broke down, and I said, "Mom, what's going on?" I already know what's going on, but I just tried to comfort her to play it
Okay.
off. I said, "What's going on?" She said, nothing, Jay, nothing, everything good. But I realized she didn't have no more funds for the gas, you see. So what I did, I came out the car, I went to the pump attendant, and I said, "Hey, bro, my mom, she don't really have no funds right now. So, we really need to make this happen. What I need you to do is see if you could bless us with about $20 worth of gas, and I can come back and give you the $20 back." So he actually agreed, and something sparked a light inside me after that day. And ever since, I started to find ways to make things happen, to make sure my siblings, along with my mother, along with myself, were straight.
Mm-hmm. So that provider instinct on the inside of you kicked in at a very early age as a result of your seeing your mom being in a hard pressed place, and you felt it your responsibility to make things happen. That's correct?
Right, that's correct. Being a male also too, most males, they cling to their mama really close. So, and most males have this protector type of instincts, and automatically, me being an automatic protector, seeing my mom struggle with me along with my siblings, I said, okay, I got to be the man of the house. I can't really depend on nobody else. I got to be the man, even if
Oh,
that's
that's
the
really amazing. Let's continue from the story that you just gave, being inspired by, the hardship that your mom was experiencing and having to go out there and to make things happen. And you
right.
started out in the business world, in the job
Yes, ma'am.
world, in the banking industry at a really, really young age. As a matter of fact, in reading your bio, it says that
Right.
you are the youngest personal
Right.
banking officer in Bahamian history. Can you really back that up?
Yeah, I could back that up on anybody who has any other data to prove me wrong, step forward.
And how old were you?
I was 17 when I initially started the bank, but when I initially came personal banking officer, I just turned 18.
So what exactly or who exactly inspired you to get into the banking industry as early as the tender age of 17?
Yes, ma'am. So, like I say, piggybacking off of seeing lack of funds, one thing that inspired me is to see a lot of funds. So, one thing that always clicked in my mind was to see a lot of money. So, I always wanted to be a teller. So, after school, what I wanted to do is become a teller. So, what I did, I actually started to print off some resumes, and I actually wrote down a list of banks. And what I did, I rented a suit for about 150, and I started to catch the bus, and I actually went to banks to drop off my resumes. And in about a few weeks, obviously called me, Commonwealth Bank called me, Scotiabank called me. I had
Wow.
an interview with you, but Scotiabank picked me. You see what I'm saying? So I entered as a teller. So my dream came through at that moment to count money. So that's how I was inspired to join the banking industry initially, just to see money.
Wow. So you were inspired. That was an incentive for you to see that money,
Right.
right? Because you
Yes,
know
ma'am.
that the something that you needed in order to experience success, in order to be able to help your mother, in order to be able to assist and help for your younger siblings. And so that was an incentive for you. I totally understand that. I get that. All right. And so you're in the banking industry, you're 17, you're 18 years old, and you're learning about the industry, you're learning about finance. And then something happens though, right? and you had to
Right.
make a pivot. You had to make a change, right? Exactly. Before we even get to that, how long were you in the banking industry before you had to make this pivot?
I would say between both banks, because I resigned from both banks I was to, the total was about 5 years and a half, I would say. I'd say
Okay.
5 years.
Okay, about 5.5 years, you said?
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're in the banking industry, you're seeing lots of money every day, so that goal was being met, right? And
Right.
5.5 years in, I mean, of course, you can build like a great career, right, in the banking industry. Why in
Definitely.
the world did you decide to write that letter and say, hey, I'm out of here? What caused that? What inspired that?
Something clicked within me, and I said, hey, if I'm making thousands and thousands and thousands for a company, and they're just feeding me a bone at the end of me giving them thousands, how about I create something, sell thousands? You see what I'm saying? So I said to myself, okay, I got to make a change because this feel like a hamster wheel. I doing the same things every day, waking up 9 to 5, going in the morning traffic, going to work, 5 o'clock, you go sleep on the same routine, same routine. And everybody told me, 30 years to retire. And what is that? I mean, for me, it didn't sit well with me. Yes, it didn't sit well with me. So what I did, I just started to plan ways to make my journey at a different route of life, I would say, basically. So I started to go on YouTube and search up entrepreneur mentors like Grant Cardone and Don Locke and other folks. You know what I'm saying? And
What's the first name that you called?
Don Locke and I think Grant Cardone, I said.
Okay, yes, yes.
Yeah, and Tony Robbins and all of those. So I started to look at them. So I started to develop a different mindset, start to pivot to leave.
So you were educated by, inspired by, mentored by what I call YouTubeversity. That's what I call it, YouTubeversity, where you learn what it is that you got to know from YouTube, right? There are self-made millionaires around the world. The only schooling they ever received was, hey, I looked it up on YouTube, I studied it, I tried it, I practiced it, I did a dry run, another dry run, and I made it work for me. And so it
Yeah.
sounds like that's something that you actually did yourself. Now, with the mentors, the two names that you just called, for
Right.
each one of those mentors from YouTube, because, a mentor doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that you are with physically in the same room or even face to face. It can be
Right.
someone halfway around the world who's teaching
Right.
you the concepts, who's giving you the knowledge base that you need in order to
Right.
create what it is that you want to create, in order to get where it is that you want to go, right? And so you find
Correct.
these international mentors on YouTube, and you gave two names of some very noted persons in the business world on the international front. Give me two concepts, give me two principles that they taught you that actually helped you to become a successful millennial Bahamian young man in our nation today.
One
Two of
concept,
the principles or two of the lessons that they would have taught you that helped to bring you success.
Don Locke told me personally through YouTube is that he said, in order for you to go to the next level in life, the old you must die in order for the new you to be reborn. And when I saw that and when I heard that, that gave me goosebumps. And with Grant Cardone,
gave me goosebumps just now too, just hearing you say it. Wow. Go on.
And also too, Grant Cardone, he's a well-established businessman too. With the finances side and freedom side, he liked to talk about. He said, and he said, "Do not decrease your lifestyle, increase your income." You see what I'm saying? So what he's trying to explain is increase your abundance, increase your skill set, increase how smart you work, increase your connections, your network, but don't slow down your lifestyle or drag your lifestyle down because you feel as though you just meeting a certain criteria of income or a certain level in life. Increase that mentality. You see what I'm saying?
That's really amazing what it is that you're saying there, because I've heard both sides of that coin, right? You would have some persons who say, I just don't have it, man. So I'm really going to have to minimize. I'm really just going to have to downgrade. I'm going to have to scale down, and I'm just going to have
Yeah.
to make do with, what it is that I have. And then there are other persons who are of the other side of the coin with a different mentality. And they're like, listen, I know the standard of living that I want. I know what it is that I envision. I know what I've got in my mind's eye. And I'm going to experience that. And I'm going to have that. And I'm going to do whatever it is that it takes in order to achieve that. And you say that that is the mentality that you have.
Mm-hmm. You hit the nail right on the head, madam.
Wow. Wow. All right. So what do you feel though about those persons who have that mentality? And the mentality that I'm referring to is, I'm just gonna have to make do. I can't really do any better right now. I'm just gonna have to put up with it. What do you say to them?
Well, first of all, I would empathize. First of all, I currently empathize with folks who have that current mentality
Mhm.
because they don't choose to have that mentality in most times. They just talk based off their experiences. So if most people experience a small box, they would only see a small box. If most
Mhm.
people only walk the earth, they wouldn't really know about space if they never watched the news. You see what I'm saying? So
Wow.
it's all about reach. You see what I'm saying? So what I would say to some folks like that who would think like that is to say, change your mindset from saying, wow, I can't afford that to
Mhm.
how can I afford that? And I got that from what's the general name? What's the gent name? Um
One of the names that
Rob,
you called was Locke.
Robert Kiyosaki, the gentleman said that. He
Okay.
said,
Okay. Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the gentleman who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's right.
He
Right.
said,
And so
change
you
your mindset.
really have, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, he said, change your mindset from going from I can't afford that to how can I afford that?
So what that does now is that puts you in a place, that puts you in a position now where it makes you think, what do I need to do to make this happen?
Right.
As opposed to accepting that I don't have it and it's not happening, right?
As opposed to accepting scarcity, correct?
Exactly, exactly. Listen, I love your mentality. I love your drive. It is so inspirational, especially coming from a 24-year-old male in the Bahamas who is a successful business owner. And we really need to see more of your demographic. And the reason why we need to see more of your demographic is because of what's going on with such a large number of our young men in our nation. And I want you to speak specifically to them towards the end of the show. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to do that. But let's continue to delve into your story because we're inspiring people today, right? And of course, you built upon the knowledge base that you received in the banking industry. What
Right,
are some
correct.
of those lessons? What are some of those concepts, those principles that you learned within the banking industry that helped to lay a foundation, a strong foundation for you to actually become a successful entrepreneur?
One thing I could say straight off the top of my head that came straight to my mind is most of the time it's not what you know, it's who you know. And
Oh,
dive deeper into that. You could hear me. I said it's not what you know most of the time, it's who you
mhm,
know. Diving
mhm,
deep into that, it all dives down to character, it all dives down to determination, passion, ambition. So I'll give you an example, right? You would have two folks. You'd have one folk who have zero knowledge in a field, right? But he have all of the drive and all of the passion that the company needs, right? And then you have this other person on the next side, right? Who knows all of the features, all of the skills, has all of the talents, but they poisonous, as in their attitudes are bad. They spread negative energy. You know, they're trying to down everybody. You see what I'm
mhm,
saying? Most companies would basically pick the one with the knowledge, and most companies would pick the one with the funny attitudes. But one
mhm,
thing I realized though about the bank specifically is that once you have a passion and once you have a fire and ambition,
mhm,
you see what I'm saying? You could actually be accepted anywhere, basically. You see what I'm saying? You could be accepted anywhere. You see what I'm
mhm.
saying? Once you have those features into place, and once you connect yourself with the right people, you see what I'm saying? And sit down and have one-on-one conversation with folks, and you'd be surprised how far you'd get.
It sounds like mentorship is really big on your radar, right? When it
Right.
comes to what you consider to be critical, what you consider to be a necessary component to success. You often refer to your international mentors, and now you're talking about, sitting at the feet of people who have gone on before you, who already possesses the knowledge base and the experience that you need in order for you to be able to build from your beginning or your starting point. And I'm really loving that. But let's right now talk a bit more about this transition point before you really, hit gold or struck gold, right? With your current successful businesses as a 24-year-old millennial in the Bahamas as a young male, which is very, very, very impressive. And I always love to hear about these stories of overcoming, right? Of
Right.
being in a situation where your back's against the wall and it is looking like there's no way out. How in the world am I going to get out of this? How in the world am I going to make a comeback? How am I going to
Right.
succeed when everything is against me, right? And so, of course, you started out in the banking industry. You say the youngest in Bahamian history at 17, and
Yeah.
but before getting into what it is that you do now with the Allen's Refinishing Touch, which is the bathtub restoration, Allen's Pest Control, and also your personal business consultation or consultancy
Correct.
services, you went into landscaping,
Right.
and that really benefited you for a bit. You said that you landscaped from east to west on the island of New Providence, right? Months
North.
of hard work, determination. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, in the hot sun. Yeah, you go ahead.
In the hot sun, right? And your landscaping business was successful. You went up to the top, but it took a major blow, as many businesses did here around the world, even not just in the Bahamas, of course, as a result of this thing called COVID-19, as a result
Right.
of this word that we've gotten used to hearing all the time, a pandemic, right?
Right.
And so, like many other businesses, like I said before, your landscaping business too took a major blow and downturn.
Yeah, man.
Now, around about that time, you experienced some serious struggles, financially, physically,
Yeah.
spiritually, mentally, right? Talk to us just a little bit about that period of time in your life. What did you experience? Describe these struggles to us. And then on the end of that, of course, we're going to get into how you made a comeback, right? And what it is that you had to do in order to do that. But let's talk about that valley experience, though, so that we can encourage someone today. What was that experience like? What happened?
Yeah, that boy, that was a dark hole.
Wow, a
Like,
dark one. Talk about it.
that was a dark hole. I call that phase in my life, the dark night of the soul. Reason being because we're talking about moments where you literally trying 100% of everything that you know at that time, and literally nothing is working. That is what you call the phase, the dark night of the soul. See what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
You have
What were
no
you
income.
what were you trying? What were you trying that wasn't working?
What I was trying, right? When COVID started, what I went to do, I started knocking on door to door,
Mm-hmm.
to get clients, because majority of the clients they stopped. They're saying, because COVID come, we just gotta hold things out with the lockdowns. We gotta save our money and all of that. That's what I was getting a lot of
Right,
times.
right. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so what I started to do was started to knock on door to door. I'll say about $50 to $60 a day. I'll probably get about two
See?
clients. Yeah, I'll say I'll get about two clients out of the $50 I'll knock on per day, and they'll be probably like $20 jobs. You see what I'm saying? So
Oh,
after
wow.
after gas and everything, I'll probably be leaving home with like $5. So yeah, and around the same time,
Mm-hmm.
um, you still had to pay rent. You still had to maintain all of these stuff. So what I did, I actually said, all right, something basically have to change, because obviously I given it my all, right? You know how the old folks say, work hard, work hard, work hard.
Right.
You gotta.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So all I been doing was working hard. And then, I listen to the Grand Car doing way too. You know, um, don't decrease your lifestyle, just increase your income, and I try and, knocking on the doors. You see what I'm saying? But
Right.
just not enough. Yeah. So I said, okay, if everybody home, right? And ain't nobody on the road no more. How about I um reach everybody through social media? So that's where um I started to market on social media, but my liabilities at that time, my expenses at that time was higher than the income I was receiving with the landscaping. So I
Hmm.
said, okay, how could I assist clients and people in the Bahamas a bit more better while increasing the profit? So I said, okay, everybody got to pay it, right? And everybody ain't into cleaning their tubs, and everybody have to open up a fridge, and not everybody have a clean fridge. So I
Right.
say, okay, what if I could be the person to restore the fridge, and what if I could be the person to restore the tub and give it like a different shell? So that's where I came up with the invention of my one to say, okay, let me start the island refinishing touch and just charge a set fee to have everybody tub restored. And man, when I kick off my first advertisement on Marketplace, Facebook, man, I start getting like 10, 15,
Oh my
16
goodness.
clients. You see what I'm saying? But at that time though, my prices was like $80. You see what I'm saying? Now they're 250, but back then it was $80. So I was
Mhm.
getting like 10, 15, but it's still good. You see what I'm saying?
Of
It's
course.
still it's still, you see what
You
I'm
were
saying?
building
Because
momentum. You were marketing. You were getting your product out there. People were able to see what it is that you do. More
right,
persons were able to see what it is that you do and how well you do it because of your price at the time. You were just starting out, right? And I call that business momentum. When you're starting out, you're getting your name out there. You need to create a platform for more
correct,
persons to see what it is that you do and how well you do it and what sets you apart, right? And then once
right,
what you're doing is you're creating value now in your actual service, in your product. And now that people see what you're good for, now you can say, here's the price, here's what I'm worth. And they're willing to pay for it. It sounds like that's what you experienced.
right. You absolutely hit the nail on the head. You understand what's going on because you well experienced in this field also.
Yes, yes. All right.
Yeah,
And so it's not just the bathtubs, it's also the refrigerators as well.
right. It's the fridge along with the bathtub, and sometimes I spice in the pest control services where I spray all homes for pest control also.
Okay, all right. And I've seen your work. Your work is absolutely amazing. I don't know how you do it, but I have seen pictures. I've seen the little mini videos that you have there on social media. The way that you present yourself, it is so professional. It looks like you've been doing it for years, man. I'm serious. And you make it look like it's a new fridge. You make it
Yeah,
look like it's a new store bought tub. I'm
yeah,
like, how?
yeah.
It's
So
absolutely
you,
amazing. Go ahead, go ahead.
I say, look, you swelling up my head.
No, 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 but I mean, it's absolutely true because I just love to see, especially young people, when they have this tenacity, when they have this drive, when they have this momentum, when they have this positivity, when they have this go-getter attitude, right? We've really got to create platforms for putting this out there because you have so many persons who are young people who are in a place of despair, who are in a place of hopelessness, and is also causing, the numbers of even persons who would have probably never even considered suicide, now considering suicide, even, teenagers, taking their own lives. And it comes as a result of hopelessness, right? Not being able to innovate, not being able to create, not being able to maintain and to keep that faith and hope alive, saying that I am going to make it. I have what it takes to make this thing happen. And that's why your story has so much value. Now, I know, when you get into business, right? Even though you may be gifted, even though you may be skilled, sometimes you still come to some challenges and some roadblocks, especially when you first start out and you're just really building your brand and really building your business. Talk a bit about some of those experiences that you may have had in really learning, I shouldn't do that again, or I should probably improve in this area. Talk a bit about that for us.
Okay. The first thing I would say is if you have an idea And if you have something that you feel as though can impact thousands, I'll tell you invest in the idea with actual cash. So the same funds that you use to buy rims, the same funds that you use to buy cars, same funds you use to buy fresh Jordans, I'm talking about put that funds aside and literally boost some sales. Like let's say if you have a car wash idea, promote your car wash on Facebook and throw like $20 on an ad for that, and you'll be surprised how many people reach out to you, and you would be surprised that your actual car wash business can actually surpass your income that you actually possibly making at a job that you do. Believe me.
Wow, yes, very much so. So you're talking about investing in yourself, investing in your own dream, and not throwing away your money, right? And of course, we can use some of the surplus, right, to buy things that we enjoy, things that we like,
Yeah.
we were definitely deserving of that. But at the same time, we need to remember the need to invest in what it is that we say that we want to do. And sometimes we need to put a delay on some of these things that we don't necessarily need right now as we are building, growing, and expanding our business. Yes?
Yeah, because timing is everything. Timing is absolutely everything. You see what I'm saying? You can't celebrate a big victory if you haven't made the big victory as yet. You see what I'm saying? So if you're looking forward to building a company, you have to put down at least 2 years of sacrificing, going out, going to parties and all of that just to build a business. And then when the business starts to make profit and you could actually start to see your rewards coming in, then you could reward yourself. But I'm not saying don't reward yourself. What I'm saying is start sacrificing a few dollars just to invest in a company to start making your lifestyle different positively.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. That's really good, Jermaine. That's really, really, really good. But you said just now, though, you're encouraging young people, right, to sacrifice for about 2 years so that they can get their business in the block, right, where they're profitable, where they can start to live off the surplus, right?
Right.
That takes a lot of discipline, man. That takes a whole lot of discipline.
Trust me, a whole lot of sacrifice and a whole lot of
Inspire young people about discipline, man. Discipline is not an easy thing. What are your thoughts? What would you like to say about the necessity of discipline and how to be disciplined as a young man, as a young woman?
You have to know the difference between discipline and emotions. You can't say you want to hit a certain goal, right? And then next week you wake up feeling a certain type of way, and then you say, man, okay, you know what, we can put that off. That ain't discipline. That's working off of emotions. See what I'm saying? Discipline is when you say, okay, I need to lose 30 pounds. I need to lose 100 pounds. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be 10 weeks to complete. But let's say on the second week, you wake up feeling, talking about your body breaking down and everything. See what I'm saying? But you in good health. It's just that your body changing now and transforming. You see what I'm saying? So now you just feel as though it's okay to just eat a little ice cream. That is not discipline. That's emotion. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So once you stick to discipline, where you wake up and say, okay, this is the goal. I need to lose 30 pounds, but it's going to take 10 weeks. No matter if I feeling happy, no matter if I feeling sad, no matter if I want to do it, no matter if I don't, this is what I have to do to reach this goal. That's discipline. You see what I'm saying? And that's where most of us need to start focusing our minds on most of the time now, rather than moving off of complete emotions.
Listen, you are a very wise young man. I had to hold back a chuckle as you were talking just now about discipline, because I had to say ouch in my mind as you were speaking. Because you spoke about discipline over emotions, right? You have this goal, I've got to lose 30 pounds. It's going to take about 10 weeks. And not just because I'm mad, I'm upset. I need some self-gratification right now. So I'm going to dig into a gallon of ice cream by myself, right? So that I can feel better in this moment, right? Knowing that there are consequences on the other side. A lot of calories you just took in one swoop, right? And so you're going to have the consequences, right? Because you have to now go and burn off those extra calories.
And it wasn't a part of the goal. It wasn't a part of the plan. It wasn't a part of discipline.
Wow. There's a lot of wisdom here today. And I believe that that's a really good point right there for us to segue into our break for today. Mr. Jermaine Allen. He is a millennial influencer, and we're having a great discussion today on the topic, Millennials Influencing Innovative Business. I am your host, Lady Shema, here on Influencers on Guardian Talk Radio 96.9 FM. There will definitely be more of this on the other side of the break.
There's this place you can buy quality men and ladies fragrances like Versace and Jimmy Choo for the best prices in town. It's easy to find with lots of parking and great customer service too. Want to know where? I'm talking about Sawyer's Treasures and Things, located right next to Sawyer Studios in the Flowers Plaza, Carmichael Road. Open Monday to Saturday, 9 to 5. Call them now at 361-7299. Got it? Sawyer's Treasures and Things at 361-7299.
Hey, Dad, want a race?
Well, let's see who's trying to keep up with who today.
Oh, because you need a head start?
I'm already way ahead of you, son.
Keep up with what matters. Joint Care supplements your active lifestyle by supporting your bones, cartilage, muscles with essential nutrients. Joint Care helps to reduce inflammation with omega-3 and replenishes glucosamine, a natural compound vital to healthy cartilage and joints. Choose the Joint Care formula that is right for you. Supplex, Complete, and Max are available at your local pharmacy. Joint Care, a part of the 7 C's family of vitamins and supplements.
ACG Wholesale is the answer for retail grocery store owners and everyday shoppers who want to save big. ACG carries a variety of drinks, snacks, meat products, essential dry goods like rice and yellow grits, plus lots of wholesome produce. And ACG Wholesale is a proud distributor of Borden's Milk. Opened Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located next to Phoenix Supermarkets on East Street South. Call 392-1155. That's ACG Wholesale with quality service and great prices. Welcome back to Influencers. I'm having a wonderful discussion here today. Yours truly, Lady Shema, with influencer Jermaine Allen. He is a millennial, a successful one at that. And I am discussing with him today the topic, Millennials Influencing Innovative Business. He is the owner of Allen's Refinishing Touch and Allen's Pest Control, as well as a new online consultancy business for professionals who are interested in entrepreneurship and business ownership. And we're going to be getting more into that in just a bit. But Jermaine, right before we went to break, you were talking about discipline over emotions when it comes to creating and sustaining success as a business owner. Let's get back into talking a bit more about discipline, because discipline is major. What are the benefits, right? Especially for a young person, right? I'm young, I'm in my 20s, I'm in my 30s, like whatever, let me live it up. And then, I'll get a little bit more serious, probably in my late 30s or something like that. But give me a break. Yeah. Discipline at this stage of my life, I want you to take a minute or two, and I want you to talk about the benefits of cultivating discipline in your life, especially as a business owner.
Okay. The benefit to me personally is that you actually get things done, the things that you want to actually achieve and see happen inside your life. So every single thing that runs through your mind that you basically can grasp what to do, just stay still. You see what I'm saying? Even if you have to take a day off from everything, just stay still. You see what I'm saying? Go to God, pray to God, ask him for guidance. And what God will do is open your mind so you could work yourself to figure out the things that you need to figure out. So grab a book. That's my advice. Grab a book, grab a pen, and every single thing that comes to your mind that is a problem in your life, write it down. If you think of weight and first word come to your mind, weight, write down weight. First thing come to your mind, bills, write down bills. Second thing come to your mind, clothes, write down clothes. And then the next step is to do, what are the steps I need to take to lose the weight? What are the steps I need to take to buy those shoes after I build my business? What are the steps I need to take to get that new house? What are the steps I need to take to bring my family closer or stronger? And then once you write down those steps and write down those plans, it may take 2 weeks. It ain't going to take a couple seconds now. It may take 2 weeks. What to do? Just stick to the plan Keep looking at the goal, at the end results, and just stick to it and keep going. And I promise you, by you keep looking at that book every single day that took you 3 weeks to write down and create, I promise you, everything within 6 months or close to it, if you stay hard to it, gonna start falling in line. I ain't say everything gonna be completed, but everything gonna start completely falling in line. Now, I can't promise you that you're gonna find 100% success in doing this, in following the discipline. One thing I could promise you is that you could sleep better at night in saying, you know what, but I gave this my 1000%. You see what I'm saying? And you would know within yourself when you're giving 1000%. Trust me, you would know. And if you say to yourself and you look in the mirror and you say, you know what, I ain't giving 1000%, then start working on the things I just recommended. And all that falls under discipline.
Yeah, all of it falls under discipline. And what it is that you're saying is very powerful and it is also very practical, right? I love for things to be practical because, you hear like this pie in the sky kind of type, idea, concept. And the person who's hearing it is like, make this real to me. How do I actually execute this? How do I actually do this, right? What are the steps? What's the first thing to do? The second thing to do? The third thing to do? And that's exactly what you just gave. One of the things that I really like that you just said, and Jermaine, you keep it real, right? You definitely keep it real, is you said that the person, even after carrying out those steps, might not necessarily walk into the fullness of the success right away. But you said that you would be able to promise them one thing. And that one thing is things will begin to fall in place and fall in line. Now, the good thing about that, go ahead. You want to say something there?
No, I promise you that's correct.
Yeah. And the good thing about that is that even though you may not necessarily experience the fullness of success at the onset, once things begin to fall into place and you start to experience the rewards and the benefits of things beginning to fall in place, then that's going to give you the inspiration and the momentum that you need to take further steps towards experiencing the fullness of that success, right? Because sometimes it really happens in seasons and in stages. It doesn't happen the same way for everyone all the time, right? And we're learning this even from your story, right? It was a very different kind of a story and an experience for you. Some similarities with some of the other stories that I've heard, but yours is definitely truly unique to you, Jermaine Allen, right? And so I'm being so inspired by your story today. Let's talk a little bit about the importance of your spiritual health, though. There are those persons who say they serve and they have a relationship with the creator, God. Right. And then there are some other persons who have other things or other concepts or other entities that they see and view as God. What is that experience like for you when it comes to your spiritual health, when it comes to really cultivating faith and towards helping to make your dreams and your businesses a success and reality?
That gave me goosebumps just now as you were talking because you were just hitting a lot of actually strong points. But my view on the whole topic is, let me just put it this way. Once you close your actual physical eyes, you see what I'm saying, and open your actual spiritual eyes and literally ask God to guide you and literally, like I say, be still, you would literally see visions. You would literally see visions. You would see where you need to go. You would literally see and hear where you need to be. You would see and literally hear what you need not to do. But the question is, are you willing to see and hear? You see what I'm saying?
Wow. So you said the question is, are you willing to see and to hear?
See and hear from God.
Okay. You see is this an aloof idea though? Like, who sees and hears from God? Like, does that really happen?
Yeah, it actually does. I can't account for everybody, but I can say for me, once I literally stood still, madam, and literally put aside all of my ego, all of the ego that I built from being inside the bank, because I built an ego from the bank. And after a while, it started to get too high. So that was one of the reasons why I quit too, because I started to lose sight of basically God and my spirituality and the journey itself and my destiny. So one thing God told me to do was, Jermaine, you just gotta, because I was contemplating from leaving the bank. I'd say about a year before I actually left. But the moment I literally said, okay, you know, God, I ain't gonna lie, this ain't really making sense what I hear from you right now. But put in my resignation so I can put in my resignation. So man, after I put in my resignation, everything just started falling into place, you know, along with a lot of struggles. But what I'm trying to basically say is close your physical eyes, and once you just humble yourself down to God and really ask God the next step, like God, what is the next step? What to do next? You know, gotta be humble with this, like for real, like all jokes aside though. And really from you stay still with your book and your pen, and from you ask God what to do next, and your eyes close and you see, let's say a mall, pop in your head, write down the word mall, because that may be your vision to be the owner or boss of a mall. You see what I'm saying? And after about 2 weeks, shoot, that book gonna start looking like something you never saw before. And I promise you, a fire gonna start, a spiritual fire gonna start inside you. We're gonna make you just keep going and going and going. You see what I'm saying? I promise you that.
Wow. So faith definitely plays a pivotal role in your success as a successful millennial entrepreneur here in the Bahamas, of Allen's Refinishing Touch and Allen's Pest Control. And there's also another business that you have. You're a personal business consultant. And that really got my attention because you say that you specialize in creating self-paid bosses through
Correct.
effective training and one-on-one business consultations. So talk to us about this whole concept, though. I mean, this is really an amazing idea. And it is definitely something that is needed right now because you have lots of persons, especially after the advent of the pandemic, in really causing a tremendous break between that physical getting in the car, being in the physical building, you know, being at the physical desk, and people really having more of a persistent and consistent experience with the online space. And a lot of persons are liking it better there. And they're like, you know what, I really think I want to transition, you know, into just having my own online business or just being my own boss, right? And so talk about your personal business consultancy program and what it is like and exactly what it is that you offer.
Well, first of all, before I begin, I just want to shout out all my entrepreneurs out there who hustling every day and giving it their 100% because I know what it is to give it your 100%. You see what I'm saying? And I basically back all y'all hustlers out there. Trust me. But for real though, I realize a lot of Bahamians share a lot of stories just like myself, similar, you know, with the typical struggles, you know, single mother, household and all that. That's actually most Bahamian. So what I try to do is actually take their talents and their skills and show them actually steps, like actual written down steps on what to do to actually see growth, bigger growth, higher growth. So for example, if someone has let's say a driveway cleaning business, or if somebody has let's say a novelty business, I want to show them step by step things on how to market, how to sell, how to reach out to the clients that they need to reach out to, how to buy inventory, how to budget for advertisement. I want to actually show business owners on how to take their business to the next level. And also to folks who stuck on jobs, who just saying, man, I here because I have no other opportunity, no more papers to go to college to do this or to do that. I want to show those type of persons how it is to literally walk off the job to say, you know what? Thank you for your time. I appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate your time here on this job, but I got something bigger to do. And I want to show them how to actually build a business from scratch and take it off fast because I know what it is to actually start a business and don't know where to start. You see what I'm saying? But now I think I have a few blueprints that I could hand out to some people. You see what I'm saying? I know for a fact could benefit. You see what I'm saying? And I'll show persons secrets that most business owners don't want to show them on how to take their business off and kick it off quick using practical things and practical advice and practical solutions and practical training.
That's really awesome. Is there a poster client that you have that you can use as an example to say this person came to me and here's where he or she started, not necessarily calling the name of that business or that person, but now they've experienced growth and expansion in their business as a result of my mentorship?
My mom, I want to say my mom.
Oh, wow.
Actually, she worked at Delta. She worked at the airport Delta. That's actually real facts. And she was laid off at Delta. So she went to another window, a smaller company where they sell windows. And she was working there for a few months, and she got fired there. Not fired, due to the COVID
Let
situation,
go.
whatever you call it. I call it fire. So she was
Mm-hmm.
fired, whatever you want to call it.
Made
And
redundant. Go on.
yeah, and whatever you put down, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, Mom, listen, man, you see me making this happen. You see where I take in this business. Why don't you start your nail business? You always here painting your nails. You always painting my sister's nails. Why don't you start your own nail business? Man, I can get it. I can get it. I can get through it. Eventually, a few weeks, she started to nibble and dabble, provided I gave her a few steps to take, and she took those steps. And over the few months, her business actually took off too. You could what's her name on Facebook? Nails by Ulisa. Search it up. Her business name is Nails by Ulisa. Once you search it
Mm-hmm.
up, you would see that she started a business from scratch a few months ago, and you would see how many reviews she got, how many reactions she get, and how many clients she get, and how many people saying how they love the business. And she literally
Mm-hmm.
about last week, and she said, Jay, I personally want to thank you as my son, Jay, for showing me things how to make this happen because I didn't believe these in myself. See what I'm saying? I didn't believe these things possible for me. See what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And she literally coming and she literally having clients. So when I call her now, usually she would call me and say, hey, checking upon you now. When I call her and say, hey, mom, checking upon you. You know what she's saying? Man, I got to call you back. I got a client every single time.
That's really amazing, man, because you normally have it the other way around where you have the parents, they're inspiring the children, right? But now
Yeah,
you're the son and you're
correct.
inspiring your own mother when it comes to being a successful entrepreneur. And so that's
Right.
really an amazing and very, very inspirational story. A very, very inspirational story because there are many persons out there right now, the only thing that they lack is exactly what you just mentioned, and that is belief in themselves, right? They have the idea, they have the blueprint, they have already gotten it on paper. Some of them, they even already have the vision board, right? And they have the vision board posted up on the wall. They look at it every day, but they don't quite believe that this thing can actually happen, that I could really make this come to life and be successful at it, right? And so that's really important right there. And I'm very inspired by what it is that you just said. And we're going to move towards the end of this really powerful conversation right now. Those persons who may just be joining us, of course, you can catch the replay on the podcast option there on guardiantalkradio.com. These shows are all there for you to go and listen to at a time that's convenient for you. You can just click on the tab there and search for influencers, and it will come up. And of course, having a really powerful conversation here with Jermaine Allen, the owner of Refinishing Touch, Allen's Refinishing Touch, that is. And we're talking about the topic millennials influencing innovative business as we come to a close right now. But as we wrap up today's show, let's end on a social point or a social note. And that is, of course, we know the gun violence right now is just out of control, right? According to local news sources, earlier last month, that's the month of June, per this recording, National Security Minister Wayne Monroe revealed that murders were up 26% this year. They're up 26% this year, 2022. And he also revealed that 30 out of the 65 persons at the time of this report who were killed were persons out on bail for homicide. And right now, currently, we're at about 90 homicides for the year. There's a lot of vigilante justice going on, right? And unfortunately and sadly, the majority of which is at the hands of our young men. as a successful millennial, just 24 years old, making things happen, using the power of social media, being a successful businessman, and also encouraging other persons to be successful at what it is that they do. Provide some positive alternatives and give some advice to our young men who may be listening to let them know that that's not the way to go. But here's something else that they can probably consider. What would you say?
First of all, I would like to say rest in peace to everybody who lost a loved one. My sincere condolences, you see what I'm saying, to everybody who lost a loved one. Apologies. That's what I meant to say. But another thing, though, you ever saw a domino train where when one domino drops, all the other dominoes follow right behind?
Yes,
Right.
of course.
Right now, we're inside a predicament inside our nation where so that domino train just keep going on and it ain't stopping right now. Reason being because we don't have a domino stopper right now. That domino stopper right now is hope that we talk about and faith. And hope and faith comes from abundance. Most of these crimes basically happening from, let me put it this way, anger. If we could find a solution to solve anger, you see what I'm saying? Trust me, man, we'll have a big turnaround. I could talk from experience. Growing up, when I was in school, I had so much anger inside of me. I tell you, like, I have goosebumps talking about this right now. In school, like from grade 10 to possibly grade 12, I had so much anger inside me. Reason being because, my father, he was there financially, but like I talking about the type of fathership a son needs from his father. Yeah, I never experienced that. So I kind of grew up, feeling a lack of, a void. So what I tried to do is fill that void, hang around, people who I think could fill that void of fathership in my life. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes they were dash role models, but hey, at that time it made sense to me. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of this happening right now, that domino train happening with a lot of folks who are my age and currently my age. You see what I'm saying? Where that domino keep going. So what I just want to say is, right, sometimes we just gotta just stop. You see what I'm saying? And just think, okay, if I act on this moment right now, right, how would this affect my family? How would this affect the future of my loved ones? How would this affect my future children? How would this affect my my country? You see what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta think of these things, and if it makes sense, you see what I'm saying? By all means. You see what I'm saying? By all means.
Yes, definitely.
And face the consequences. But man, let me tell you something. If you literally sit down and say, but you know what? Man, let me take the same anger and turn this into something positive, man. Let me take the same anger what I have and turn this into something what could actually benefit me and my family. What could feed my family. What could feed, you see what I'm saying? And what could inspire others too. If we could take that
And
same.
the good news is that you're speaking from experience, Mr. Jermaine Allen, because you know what it is to experience that kind of anger as a young man, but you made the decision to use that to fuel you towards a positive outcome of becoming a successful business owner at the age of 24, which is absolutely amazing. We're out of time, definitely not out of inspiration, definitely not out of word, definitely not out of questions and responses. But we've come to the time now where we've got to wrap up our conversation. I have been so inspired by your story, by your words of wisdom, by your drive. And I'm telling you, thank you so very much for taking out the time here today, Mr. Jermaine. We really do appreciate it. We've been inspired, believe me. All right, so that's going to be all here. You're welcome. That's going to be all here today on Influencers on Guardian Talk Radio 96.9 FM. I am your host, Lady Shema. Until next time, blessings.
Influencers was brought to you by
Joint Care, supplements to keep you active. Sawyer Studios, located in the Flowers Plaza, Carmichael Road, West. Global Transformation Media, transforming you from the inside out. The Affirmation Nation, and Guardian Talk Radio. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.